Want some cheese, bro?
Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. I want to talk about a new game that recently fully released on Xbox called Smallands. I'm a big fan of the survival genre, so I'd heard about it a while ago and ended up playing it. And in playing it, I found its multiplayer system to be probably the best, if not one of the best systems. The way it works is that everything is tied to your character. Similar to games like Portal Knights or Valheim, you can transfer characters between worlds or servers, and normally that just entails your inventory and whatever gear you have equipped. And Smalland has all of that, of course, but with the addition of one neat thing. Bases are also tied to your character. You see, there are these tree encampments as they're called, and I believe they're all identical, which may seem boring, but it allowed for such a unique feature. When you claim a tree encampment, it functions as your new spawn, only being overridden by beds. Now, let's say you're playing with your friends on their world, you make your base, and they make theirs. Now, let's say your friend decides to get off the game, but you still want to play. Well, just load up your own world, and your base is still there. Since the encampments are tied to you as a player, everything built on them transferred between worlds and servers. Obviously, the structures built outside of the base won't transfer since they're tied to the world data themselves. And also, this only applies to bases that you yourself own. So if you're sharing a base with a friend, that won't transfer over because it's tied to their name or their user, their character. Just keep that in mind. Which means that if you're playing solo, then you have no real reason to build on encampments, so you're not really tied to that. And although I personally would, since the high elevation is very useful to getting places with your wings, or if you have a grasshopper or whatever the hell, it's overall better. The only things that are personally any sort of issue for multiplayer for me right now is when someone takes damage, your controller vibrates. This is specifically something I don't really like on console. As far as I know, there's no real way to turn this off at the moment. So if your homie sucks at combat, or you're just playing with like 10 people on a world, then your controller is going to vibrate constantly. And I know that may be tempting to sit on it. That's fucking gross. What's wrong with you? Another thing is that there are quests you get from NPCs, and they're basically to hunt down bosses, but they don't really seem to respawn after being killed. I heard that quitting and reloading the world may respawn them, but I haven't really tested that. Although a really neat feature, though, is that even if they don't respawn, they're guaranteed to drop the required quest item. And they're guaranteed to drop one for every player currently on the world or server when they're killed. Now, what that means is that if you decide to take on the Rhino Beetle alone, but you have 4 other people on, so 5 people in total, then when you kill the beetle, it'll drop 5 horns instead of the 1, since you'd soloed it. From there, it's just up to you whether you want to share or make your homies fight the beetle themselves. Fucking leeches. Also, the game is up to 10 players per world at a time. Don't really know about servers, but I assume it's the same. That's all for now. Sorry for the short video. I'll try to upload again as soon as possible. And have a great rest of your day. Adios.